will start with Councillor Manzer,
Here.
Councillor Tudor, Councillor Thurber, and Deputy Warden Ross, Executive Assistant Taylor, Manager of Corporate Services Cora Lee, Manager of Municipal Services Tyler, our CAO Jeff, and myself, Linda Hesworth. I would like us all to pause to seek guidance, please. Okay, we will start first with the agenda. Is there any additions or deletions anyone would like to add to the agenda or remove? Could I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved. One second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carries. The next is the minutes of August 8th. Is there any errors or omissions in those minutes?
On a motion to approve the minutes of August 8th, 2023. Seconded.
There was no errors or omissions. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. Now, we have a presentation from Dan White, the West Nova Chamber of Commerce. Could I have a motion for him to come forward, please?
So moved.
Is there a seconder?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried. If you'd come forward and just make sure that green button is on.
I shall do that.
Please and thank you.
Thank you. Shall I proceed?
You sure can.
First of all, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak on behalf of our new Chamber of Commerce, the West Nova Chamber of Commerce. What I'd like to do is make a reasonably short presentation to introduce you to who we are, what we do, why we do it, how we do it, that sort of thing. And then open to any and all questions. If you have any doubts, concerns, or anything, I'd certainly like to know about it. So that tonight would be a good time to let me know that. So first of all, I am the CEO. I'm working pretty much full-time on that. And I've warned the Chamber that when they start having money, they can start paying me.
Well, that's even nicer, yeah.
Yeah. And so I have 12 years of experience in advocacy working with the Chamber of Commerce. I've a lot of business experience. I'm a tax consultant, business consultant, and I chose to move to Nova Scotia because I think it's a fabulous place to be. It is where I'm making it my home. And I thought it was a really good opportunity for me to give back to a community. And I thought the Chamber of Commerce was the way to do that. I came here because of the quality of life, and I want to support that, not change that. It's good the way we are. So we are a not-for-profit corporation, federally incorporated as of July 1st, 2023. We're not under the Boards of Trade Act. We're under the Not-for-Profit Corporations Act. We're a group of 9 community leaders that are directors of our team. They make up our council. That's Max Hersey is our president. Our vice president is Joanne Frost-Trimper. Our secretary is Manny Chakrabarty. Our lead directors at large is Brian Manzer. Our treasurer is Julie White. Our advocacy chair is Nick Foote. Our chair of membership is Laurie Prentice Van Leuven. And our events chair is Tiffany Barrett. There's a lot of excitement in what we're doing. We really feel that we're doing something good. It's very positive. And we have a balanced board because I'm Mr. Enthusiasm, and that can be great, but it can be a problem. So you need to, whoa, Dan, slow down. What are we doing here? And so I do appreciate that we have those components in our chamber. So our goal is to concentrate on the matters that matter most to the community. And we're working hard to understand what the community wants. I'm meeting with various different community leaders. And what we want to do is work in a way that's appealing to both the long-term residents and the new-term residents. The basic philosophy is if it's not good for one or the other, don't do it. And we're nonpartisan. And there's a lot of things that we want to do. For instance, our number one objective, which we our mandate we have to achieve, is to get the darn road signs fixed. I don't think it represents Digby the way it should. It's not a good thing. So we're working hard on a very detailed, comprehensive program. And I'll be back asking for you guys to give us a letter of support as well. We want to make sure that we're in sync. Like being here is an important opportunity for me because I want to work with you, not against you. I think that if we work in the same direction, we can be an extension of the things that you want to do. And there's an extra set of legs that can be out there helping to achieve the things that I know you guys would like. So I think working together is the way to go. And I am going to be requesting that we have a liaison person that we can communicate with. For instance, we'd like to be able to say, well, we're working on this initiative. Would this be in alignment with what the municipality would want? And also to know that if you guys are doing something that you could use our help, that would be really great. If we could work together in that way. In every community, there needs to be commerce, there needs to be business. But our position, we're a little different than most chambers of commerce because we're saying we want the entire community, the government entities, not-for-profit entities, the social entities, clubs that make up the community, the district of Digby. So we don't want to leave everybody out. We want to hear the voice of everybody and be able to go to bat. I'm very familiar with advocacy, and I've had my resolutions go all the way to the Canadian Chamber of Commerce and be approved. And by the way, if anybody needs any tax advice, I can tell you all the things never to do. It's our business. We rescue people in trouble. I'm kind of semi-retired, so I'm not really trying to get your business. I'm just letting you know that. As a matter of fact, we've decided to get really very careful who we take on as clients because there's a lot of stress to that. And by working together, we can increase the prosperity of the entire community. When everybody benefits, tides rise all ships. So we're working together with community leaders, finding out what needs to be done and working with them. We meet monthly as a council to what we're working on, but we also have subcommittee meetings that we're meeting on an ongoing basis. Our membership meetings are once a month. On the fourth Thursday of the month. And right now membership is free, which is a good deal. So we've offered people membership so that they can experience our networking events and whatever, and then January we'll start that. In January we'll also start to quarterly open house meetings where people can just come and meet. So every third meeting will be an open house. We're working with the Western Education Initiative to bring free business training to Digby. So we've made that agreement to proceed with that. We're starting a public speaking course at the end of September. It's free to members. So the trick is if you know somebody that wants a public speaking course, they have to become a member, which is for free. If they don't become a member, it's $400. So sign up before next year and you get the course for free. So we're working on various different business membership benefits. We have a really good deal with Canada Life Insurance for group insurance benefits for 1 to infinity number of people. And it's a very good benefits plan, health, dental, all those good things. So that's available for our members as well. We're working with Ultramar. I think we have a deal, but that's not confirmed yet. So as I mentioned, most chambers and boards of trade focus on business, but we're business and otherwise. And I found that there's a lot of entities in the Digby area that are all working independently. And I'm reaching out to these various different entities to say, let's work together and set up a joint chambers council so that various different boards of trade and chambers are sharing information. I've set up relationships with St. John, New Brunswick, Yarmouth, Barrington, Weymouth, Bear River, and I believe it's building relationships builds community, builds business, and that's what I'm about. I think that Digby should be the jewel of Nova Scotia. It's the gateway to this marvelous province, and I think that we need to really shine that up. Digby it's like a diamond in the rough, and it's just dying for all kinds of wonderful things to happen. I'd like to be part of that, and I would really like it if we can work closely together and work in harmony and not at distance to each other. So that's an overview of Dan White, West Nova Chamber of Commerce, what we're about. And please ask any questions that you have.
Anyone first? George, start.
Yes.
Your boundaries, Annapolis to Weymouth, Annapolis to Matagan.
Thank you, George, for that question. That we are incorporated for the municipality of Digby. That's our area. We've had to work with, for instance, the Yarmouth Board of Trade. They were a little concerned because we said it's West Nova and it's an overlap. And what we've agreed is there's not going to be a difficulty for us. They're looking at merging with Clare and going bilingual. And I said, well, I'd like you guys to have the bilingual part because I've had really bad experiences with the French language. I'm half French, so I'm not against the French, but the language issue drives me crazy. French people cannot agree on the French language. And so that I'm hands off. So we're friends there. And I have previously spoken to the Halifax Chamber of Commerce. And everybody I've spoken to is perfectly comfortable. We're not out trying to take somebody else's territory. And we're willing to share whatever we know and whatever we're doing. It's about working together. There's not a scarcity, there's an abundance. We just have to see it that way. Does that answer your question, George? Thank you.
Anyone else?
You stole my question.
Does it cost anything to join? Obviously not if you're not paid.
Yeah, no, it's free at the beginning, but there's various different levels. It starts off with about, I think it's $30 for a student. A one-person business is $75. If there's more than one person, it goes up to $150. At the top end for a large company, it'd be $350, and there's only 4 companies in our area that would constitute that.
How many members signed up?
So far, I haven't been given the final numbers because of I'm not skirting the question, but Lori is a fabulous person, but she's making me do everything right technology-wise. So we had to create this technology empire, which is all done, and she's happy. And now I'll get the final numbers. My guess is we probably have 20, 30 members, something like that now. But for a new chamber, just getting set up, that's pretty good. We have 103 followers on social media, so we're getting there. And a lot of really positive feedback. It's been very gratifying so far.
No, will you be working with the town of the Board of Trade?
That's a difficult question for me to answer with. I'll start off with, we're totally open to work with them. Mm-hmm. The problem they have right now is they haven't had an election in 4 years.
In 4 years?
In 4 years, and they're required annually to have one every year.
Mm-hmm.
They're required, based on their incorporation, to have 5 directors. They have 2 legitimate directors. So I would be happy to work with them as soon as they're organized enough that I can have a conversation with somebody who has some authority to make a deal. Ideally, it would make total sense. See, the Board of Trade, I was the treasurer. They'd asked me to be the treasurer, and I had to resign because of the legal issues that I was concerned about. And so they weren't interested in having that fixed. So they said they were going to have an election on September 21st, but they have to, by law, they have to give 2 weeks' notice to the members. So that hasn't happened. So the long answer to what you're saying is absolutely, I'm open to them. If they can get together, I don't even see that there's a competition because their history is 2 events a year, and which I would support them in that event. That's not a problem. But they are not about advocacy work. So we're happy to do that. If they can do their events, and we'll help them. But right now, they're not in a legal position to even make a deal with anybody. So they have to have their election. The risk is that the government will shut them down for non-compliance. That's the risk. I wasn't going to bring them up, but you asked the question.
It's just that I know that they take members out from they have members from the municipality and up including the county of Annapolis.
Yeah, that's true. When I joined with them, they had 6 members. I got it up to 52 members, according to their website.
They had dropped down to 6 members.
Yeah, the members that they list on their website, which is about 160, of those, over 100 are not members.
Well, they were members, but they've lapsed since.
Yeah, I would think that they were members. See, they didn't have the infrastructure to do the work. And when I got involved, I was shocked to find out that these members hadn't been signed up. that they were using the wrong name, because their name by the government is the Digby Board of Trade. So I offered to fix everything for them. And I said to either hire a lawyer or I'll do it for free. And if I do something wrong, we can fix it, but at least we'll fix it when we're legal. But we weren't able to agree on that. And I said, because of the liability, I have to resign because the number of members of false advertising is $100 and some thousand fine for that. And there's so much per fine per day for not filing your annual reports, and it scared the heck out of me. So I just wanted to fix it. And being that they weren't willing to do that, then I said, okay, well, Digby needs an organization that's going to do the things that I wanted to do. Believe me, I wanted to fix the Board of Trade. It's a lot easier to fix it than to build a new one. It's a whole lot of work, and I'm spending thousands of dollars to set this up. And because I believe in it. And Linda, in answer to your, I may refer to you as Linda, the board, if they came forward, I would be happy to work with them, absolutely. It's just that nobody wants to be in trouble with the law.
So, I know I'm a little off. So you're telling me they have not had an election in 4 years, so who technically is in charge, or who's on the board, is from 4 years ago?
Okay, well, after not having an election, technically nobody.
Okay.
But they have 3 people that they claim to be on the board. Now, they named Karen Enright as immediate past president. She was president 4 years ago.
Yes.
Linda Weir, nice lady, but she's not even a member of the Board of Trade, so she can't legitimately, by the bylaws, be on as a director. So there's Kevin Ellis, who is the president, and David Sadat, who is director at large.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have anybody, to my knowledge, unless they've recently done that, to do the work. I know because I was doing all the work. And since I left, there hasn't been anything happen except they announced that there was going to be an annual general meeting on the 21st of September and an election. I don't see any evidence that that's going to happen. I'm afraid that they're going to vote. I did meet with the mayor. I expressed my concern as if there was any way we could save it. I genuinely made an effort. I really wanted to see it work. I liked the fact that it's not 125 years old, it's 150 years old. And I thought, and there's $30,000 in the bank, and I thought, what a way to make it rock and roll. So I wanted it to work. And yeah, I'm not on the vendetta against the board. I just need to look after my legal safety, and I want to do this. I didn't see that things were going to happen.
So now, do you meet in the municipality for your meetings?
Pardon me?
Do you meet in the municipality for your meetings?
We're meeting, our council meetings are at Nova Scotia Works. Our members' meetings are at Nova Scotia College.
Okay.
And we're getting really, really good support for entities like the college and Nova Scotia Works and other entities that are really happy. I've had more good introductions within the community than I ever expected. I thought that I was going to run into opposition. The worst thing that I've had to experience is not a bad thing. It's I'm going to sit on the fence and see what happens. If that's the worst that's going to happen, it's pretty good. Yeah, it's a community needs an organization that's a voice out there that's meeting with people, and we feel that we can do an excellent job. My wife Julie is the treasurer. She's an accountant, and she's a dynamite with social media marketing. She's been out there doing great things. She's not only is she a wonderful wife, but she's a great business person. And I've got her support on this, otherwise I wouldn't have tried it.
Do you want a copy of the video so you can show it?
Yeah, I guess a person has to be careful what they say. Yeah, and I'm well aware of slander and libel, so I'm perfectly comfortable with the statements I made about the Board of Trade.
Matthew?
When's your next meeting?
Pardon me?
When's your next meeting? I noticed on the literature.
Okay, yeah, it's
the end
on
of the month.
the last Thursday, so I believe that would make it is it the 24th? Last Thursday of the month.
Last Thursday.
Love it if you could come out.
28?
28.
That's right, the 28th. It would be absolutely great if you did. It starts officially at 5:30, but people start networking at coming in at 5. At 6 sharp, we start the meeting. And by 6:30, we've done the business portion of it, and we go back to networking.
That's at Nova Scotia Works.
Pardon me?
That one's at Nova Scotia Works.
Yeah.
Oh, that one,
No, the big meeting is community college.
Community college.
Yeah, and the open area, sorry. And I'm a little hard of hearing. I was raised in the wilderness, shot a lot of guns, and I have hearing damage from shooting guns. So I've got 2 hearing aids in here. And so sometimes I don't hear as well as I'd like to.
and, can anyone just come to your meeting? Excuse me, on the 28th, can anyone come?
Anybody can come, especially anybody from from you folks would be more than welcome. It'd be nice to know you're coming because we usually have drinks and some treats. So if you know, let us know you're coming. You're most welcome to come.
And how do we reach out to let you know?
The easiest way is ceo@westnovachamber.ca. So, well, I believe I have your communication information, so I can send that to you,
Okay.
and I'll make a note to do that.
If you could just send it to me, Dan, I'll circulate it to the
Okay,
gang.
thanks, Jeff.
I could save you a step there.
Oh, that's true. I sent it on to him.
That would be awesome if you guys could come out and just see what we're doing. I believe Brent Reed from Altamar is making a presentation, and he's doing 2 presentations, one on benefits and the other on pickleball.
Oh,
And we thought we could make Digby some kind of center for pickleball.
pickleball, you need to talk to Sharon McAlpine,
Okay.
who is our recreation director,
Mm-hmm.
because we do have pickleball,
Okay.
and it's
They're in
good
a league
to.
now, don't they?
Pardon?
They're in a league now.
Yeah, so it's good to talk to Sharon so that, you're,
Yeah.
again, all working together.
Yeah. That would be awesome. And
And that number is 245-5006, and then you'll just hit the right number for it.
that'll be good. And with the pickleball, I know that Brent is very involved in it. I'm just taking his lead. And so he said that he would like to do something, and I said, well, we'll support you on that. So what a great thing, fastest growing sport in the world, apparently. So that would be good. We can enhance that in any way.
There was a discussion last couple of weeks, and they said, well, some people saying, well, isn't pickleball an old people's sport? And they said, if you can't keep up, you can't play. So it's not what people are thinking.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. 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 So I've never played it. I've never seen it played, but I'd love
I've
to.
only heard about it.
Yeah. I didn't hear about it until Brent told me about it. How can it be the fastest growing sport? And I haven't even heard about it. But it must be fun.
Like I said, they play. Is there any other questions? Well, I want to thank you for coming and sharing your information with us. Now, we never make decisions. It would be, a letter has to come asking for us to have a member on the board.
Yeah.
And we also need to make sure you are a nonprofit,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're definitely a nonprofit.
Well, no, it's just that, if, and that doesn't mean we will or we won't.
Yeah.
It just means if, we have to make sure if we're entering something that
It'd be happy to.
it can work in line with the municipality. So there's a lot of things we have to look at.
That's right. I think it'd probably be a good idea to send you our articles of incorporation so that you could see.
Yep, that would be great. And I guess just clarifying the ask, so are you looking, I think we've used the term liaison, member, and board member, and they're all very different. So I guess I would like some clarity on what you would like from the group.
Thank you, Jeff. The directors we have right now is full. Okay. So we're not looking for directors, but our election will be the beginning of the year. And that's when we'll know how many of the directors want to stay and who else is there. I think we can actually take a few more, but we're not looking for it right now because we're learning to work together. So what we're looking for is members. And we're not looking for anything beyond being able to work with you. you know, mind if you've got money to give away, we'll take it. But
What's that?
Pardon me?
What's funny?
No, I wasn't. I'm kind of joking about that. I'm not. We're not looking for the money.
So you're looking for a member who's a liaison at the
Yeah.
same time, someone
That's
to
right.
bring back
That's right.
information.
And I would
But
say
not be on a
Not a
board,
board member.
not a board member.
Not a board member.
yeah, that's right.
And that's,
Yeah, that's right.
so, yeah, and if that letter can
I don't
go
think we
to
need
Jeff
a
or
vendor.
myself.
If we're not on the board, we don't need a letter.
Oh,
This
we
is just
don't?
if you guys want to join.
Oh,
We can
okay.
talk about that more.
It doesn't. I don't think from our perspective, it doesn't need to be on your board. It needs to be somebody who's involved with the town that can liaison with us. It's just the function, not the position, that's important. So
Okay.
it could be anybody.
Yeah.
And so that'll be really helpful. It won't take up as much of your time that way, and vice versa. We'll just work more efficiently. I'm a great believer in more things get done efficiently than not. No other questions?
I want to say thank you again for coming. We do appreciate the information.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you being friendly and willing to listen to me. It's great. So it's
Well,
awesome.
how do we know if we don't hear?
Well, I think you are absolutely right, and I'm really pleased that you have that attitude.
Our whole council does.
That's awesome. It really is. So you made my evening. Thank you very much, folks. You have an awesome rest of the evening.
You can stay and listen to all of them.
Don't do that to yourself.
David.
You're cruel to our guests.
No, you might find our interesting.
Yeah, I would. I did read the minutes of your last meeting, so I got a gist of it.
Yeah, so you don't have to leave. You're filled free.
I'll stay for a bit.
Okay.
I haven't had dinner, so it won't be too long.
Okay, is there any unfinished business from the minutes of August 8th that anyone would like to bring forward? Okay. Our CAO report. Just a reminder. On September the 19th, there is no meeting. On September the 26th is council. On October the 3rd at 5 p.m. is our TIR. At 6 p.m. is bylaw and policy. And I wanted to ask, should that be changed now to Public Works, where they're technically no longer TIR, or do we?
Well, we still have concerns about the confusion internally, because we
Okay.
refer to our organization,
Okay.
so we just,
No, I
for the
just-
purpose of this reminder for you all, that's the only place that goes.
Okay, oh, okay, that's great. October the 10th at 5 is committee of the whole. October the 17th, there's no meeting. October the 24th is council. And I know we always meet on the 4th, but I was thinking this year, I'd like to meet on the 5th Monday of October.
Just to see the costumes.
It's October the 31st. I thought we'd all dress up, and I was gonna be a princess.
October 31st.
I could be the prince. I was like, what should I say? I'll go something alright, nice.
No, there is.
All those kids will be missing trees.
No, I got kids to say, I'll be driving children around Westport.
But in all seriousness, it is Halloween. Please be safe and make sure the children are safe and wear light clothing or reflective. On saying that, our CAO update, is there any questions on any of the update? Yes, Angela?
I just had a question. The data funding, is it attached to a project or is it just, I'm just curious because I missed a couple meetings.
Sort of would be my answer. I think the committee, in the end, required a presentation, and I believe 3 different information packages, including job descriptions, were submitted to the committee. They were quite thorough in their review of the request to grant data and funding. The committee has jumped in with both feet and take their role very seriously.
Okay.
So yeah, data was required to submit a fair bit of information. and the funding request was quite minimal. Still, it was just acknowledged that
yeah.
it was so late in the year.
Yeah.
It was also challenging to attach it to specific projects. So it was attached to a few initiatives. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions on any of the other? There is going to be, just in case, the EPR, the NSFM with our regional chairs is going to have a meeting, Zoom meetings. And I would hope that if you can attend the Zoom meeting, that you should.
Yeah, I'm over.
It's just to keep you up. I'll be on it, but
Yeah, I've registered for one, I think the 20th, I think.
that's great. So it's,
All signed up.
we actually discussed a little bit of the EPR today at Police Check.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the presentation.
Yeah, I think it will be good.
Yeah.
And that means that you, if you're part of our committee, can go on as well. Okay, just so you know. Is there any other questions on the CAO's report or update?
We ready to roll for Lee?
There's going to be nothing.
These only gotta be tropical.
Always,
Sounds
always.
good.
Remember, because of the churn up
3-6.
of the waters from it, it cooled the waters down, so they say there's very less likely of being too much of anything. Yeah, I mean, it might be a tropical storm. But
The only thing I ever check is those municipal.
Yep,
I
and
love
those are
those
great.
things. That's the only thing I ever look at. Is those.
Bruce and I started talking to each other last week, and we've been in touch today as well. We'll be in touch every day this week leading up to it.
Stop fear mongering.
And go on
Just kidding, just kidding.
windy.com if you want to see other. Windy, WINDY.com.
Oh yeah, I saw.
It's another one that's quite accurate.
120 clicks.
So, I'm going to Cape Breton. I mean,
Going surfing.
Yes.
Meet it up there.
I thought it'd be fun.
So sure.
Yeah, she's going to So Shore. I'm going around that way.
Well, if it's going up to the Bay of Fundy.
I'll talk to us after the meeting.
So sure, good place to be.
Okay,
But it could be a rough
department
There's about
reports.
10 different routes.
Does anyone have any questions on any of the department reports?
I just had a question about the building permit. Is there like a way that we could keep track, the new construction of the houses, like year to date,
Oh, definitely. It would be another report we'd have to get included. So year to date isn't.
I thought we always used to have that on there.
Yeah. What's somebody with better glasses?
I can't.
Not year to date, I don't think.
What's those two categories at the bottom?
Oh, you're at the.
That's the
It's
estimated
just for that
value by district
Oh,
and
just
the
for that period.
estimated value by building type.
Yeah, we can run a separate report for the by year, I believe, Angela.
I mean, because I did go through to find out which ones were new construction. Oh yeah, there was a question there. One of them's got a different name. New use, yeah. New use single dwelling, residential, above ground. I just was curious what that was because I've never seen that as a work type before.
That means, doesn't it, it's more like I'm asking the question, that it's more like a group home, is that what they mean?
I thought maybe it was like business turned into a residential, but I just.
Governmental, you mean?
New use.
The very top one, like if you go down, like this is
Use
construction.
from something that.
Construction.
Some of them say construction single dwelling. Yeah, like way down, construction single dwelling.
Yes. Yeah.
But then I just
This one
curious.
says, I agree, single dwelling, residential, above ground flats?
So they're not, it must be any construction that's not dealing with
Above
the basement
ground.
of the
I can't read
grade.
it.
Floor?
Renovating a spot for,
Above ground floor, above residential, above ground.
oh, it must be an
that
upstairs
okay?
renovation for an office.
Does that FL? Because it
Yeah.
present?
It's floor.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still looking for Angela's question. An
It's down
example,
there.
New use.
She's asking,
right.
what does it mean?
but that's commercial, right? So that would just be a different business going.
But
in
it
there.
says residential.
It says new use.
Well, sorry, I'm seeing the new use one is commercial. That's why we're not talking about the same line.
Go down,
Single
see
dwelling.
where, move that mouse up, two more, right down,
Way up
right,
to the
next
top.
one.
The very first one at the
I
top.
think we gotta have one person give Tyler directions. Two people are yelling at him in different directions.
The very top one says new use, single dwelling, residential above ground floor. I was just curious what new.
And then the other one says renovate.
Commercial.
So Tyler would have to ask the building department. I'm guessing the new use is a mistake in the classification.
Oh.
I'll find it.
I just see we're building and building and building. Yeah, there's a
800
new,
posts.
a new carpenter company out now. He just left his father and has gone out on his own, his son. The shoot, I think it is. All right. If there is nothing else on those departmental reports?
I motion to approve the reports.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried.
I had a feeling after that conversation he'd be like, yeah, this is as verbatim as I thought it would be.
What? There is nothing under dangerous and unsightly premises. The next is business items. The Annapolis Valley approval of funding request. And that was for $1,500. And it was for food rescuing imperfect or close to date food and getting it out to the people for little or no cost.
Basically, it's they're looking for gas money. They run up and down the valley quite a bit to bring food down.
Fresh food too, hard to get.
It's for gas for September 1st to December 31st. Now, I'll give you an update on this. I did get approval for $500 of that $1,500 through senior safety program.
So now we don't, so it's now 1,000.
$1,000. I'd only be looking for 1,000. I did 500.
Did you apply for this?
No, they applied for it.
Okay,
I just
sorry.
know the history on it because they
Okay.
had
No,
talked
no,
to me.
I
and
misunderstood.
and then when I went to senior safety, I wanted to update it for you so you weren't looking for 1,500. It'd be 1,000 now.
Okay.
What's particularly
Unless you
useful.
want to give 1,500. I have no
I
problem.
would.
Well, not if they've already got 500 of the 15, that would be not responsible to the
I know,
taxpayer.
I know.
Yeah, I like what they're doing. They're taking stuff that otherwise be thrown away. It's local stuff. Sometimes it's things like things that be plowed under the field or disposed of in a dumpster.
Yeah, it can be carrots that aren't straight, that are frozen.
Exactly. And even funny things. She has large amounts of ice cream. It's starting to work with her. She's fantastic. I hope to work with her in the future.
So my question would be, I'm sorry, Angela, go
No,
ahead.
I just had one question. Is this the same group that the woman down in Barton
Yes.
works with and that Cindy Amaro Wood in Bear River? I'm assuming. It's all
can't tell you.
But there's a bunch of them. There's a bunch of ladies that work together. Yeah.
I know they have the cupboards in town, like over around Frenchies, there's a cupboard that they
Okay,
fill
no,
up.
I just thought.
And they open up the, I think it's St. Mary's Church downstairs, and they
I
start
helped
out,
them at St. Mary's Bay Church, and we did
they
100
do a dropout.
pop-up.
Pop-up.
They just did one the other day. I didn't get the numbers from that one.
Drop out.
They did 109 adults and 89 children, the one that I was at. I didn't get to the one the other day.
My food bank, which I did 2 days ago, had several families show up who've never showed up before. Several. People's unemployment's running out. People have big families down there too, and it's difficult to find something affordable. It's a couple hours round trip just to go to Digby. Or more than that. It's more like 3 or 4 hours.
Well, all right, I was at red and white after I stayed after the wage check meeting because I had the workman's comp. So then I left, so I went through the red and white, and I came out with a shopping bag, and it was $100.
And that's the
And
cheap
when the
place.
girl said it to me, I said, "Excuse me, what did you say?"
That's the cheap place.
And
Yeah.
I mean,
Nowhere cheaper than
but
that.
I didn't have a lot of meat. I just had little bits of whatever.
It doesn't take much.
And I mean, it was a nothing bag. That's all I'm saying, it was a nothing bag.
How much money do we have left in the account? Approximately $10,000, is that correct?
I'll make a motion for $1,000 for the approval
For 1,000, okay.
I'll second
So it is moved and been seconded that we give the frugal moms $1,000. Any questions?
I am getting close to having that thing done, the food distribution center. I think I'm getting quite close. I may come and ask for some money.
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with this
You
vote.
know, you can't muddy the water.
We're all working together, though. I feel like
This vote, though.
I want to
Let's
get
do
these
this vote.
people on board with me.
Yeah.
And I got stuff for them too.
Yeah,
Lots of stuff.
that's fine, we're gonna work on
All right,
that.
sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary-minded, motion carries.
All right, I just threw that out because everybody seemed positive about food, so I just tossed that out there.
It's okay, you did this.
I hate wasting my time making
Now
a
remember,
proposal.
it's up to you if you call it conflict of interest
Well,
when you give that
I think
presentation.
there's a session on meeting procedure being held in Yarmouth in the real near future,
Yes,
just
there
if
is.
anyone's interested.
yeah, none of us. None of us, Jack.
It got canceled because of the storm. They emailed me.
Smith Cove Fire Department has asked for a letter of support, and they are
It's for businesses. That, yeah,
to support the
employers.
push for legislation to allow volunteer firefighters and search and rescue personnel to be in control if they respond to an accident or not the employer. So if they get hurt, they're covered.
Well, I thought that was automatic anyway.
No, this is a letter so they can, sorry, if I could.
Oh, I misunderstood it?
Yeah, this is a letter so they can leave work without their employer's permission. They want it in legislation.
I misunderstood that.
Okay, yeah.
There's, the first part is about leaving work, not having to have your employer. But the second part,
This is for the
right
legislation.
in here about, to promote or train them. Does that mean that the guy can just leave work and say, I got training to do? I don't agree with that. I agree with him being able to go to a fire, but not for the training.
I don't see the training. Where's
But
that
that's
on?
under current employee.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's under
Union
current.
has the employee a decision to promote or train
Train
them
them.
if the
Or is
employee has
inform
informed
the
the
employer.
employer of their obligations and advises the employer when to act in that capacity. They must leave work suddenly.
So, okay, they are asking, they leave work suddenly in the capacity of training. I don't see how training would, am I reading that right, Tyler?
That's a sample of, what's that the legislation from? Is that Ontario? I don't know if the Canadian.
This is paid Canadian labor.
He doesn't have a draft of the legislation he's proposing. He's just looking for a letter of support from us. This is very early on in his advocacy stages.
I see.
So,
I mean,
asking
I'm
whatever
totally
terminology you want.
for being able to leave. If it's a fire call, they should be able to leave, but not for training.
I don't think you can, it's either going to be we're in support of what they're trying to, or else we go back to them and ask a little bit more questions.
I was gonna ask, why don't we recommend taking it to, who's on our fire
Angela.
association?
Angela's looking confused. I was like, Angela, you must know.
Fire association to see like what the feelings is with all the
There's
departments,
a
right?
meeting next Thursday. Finally, they told me.
Okay, so, can you, take a copy of the letter? Or would that be permissible for her?
I'm hoping Mr. Snyder will be there bringing this up himself.
Yes. Right.
I know they haven't met a lot, but,
And then
yeah,
we-
if he doesn't, certainly, I would think you.
Yeah. And then you can bring it back to council.
Yeah.
That's our council's following
Yeah.
Tuesday.
So if I could, just before we leave this topic, I would suggest when it comes back to us, we should think, I do think as kind of the volunteer fire service is coordinated through us.
Yes.
So we have a supporting role. I do want you all to be aware, not all employers in your respective jurisdictions will support this letter of support, right? Employers have pretty strong feelings about this particular topic, right? So I still think we do have a role in it. I just want to make sure you're all aware that
Yes.
employers, in case you're caught off by some employers' strong feelings, employers having employees leave for this is tricky, and there's feelings about it.
I guess that's what I was trying to wonder from the group of the fire department.
Yes.
What are their feelings first?
Good idea.
We make a decision.
Yes.
I understand
It's a very
that.
good idea.
You have people that are in the fish that are on production lines.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
just leaves.
Yeah.
And you got $10,000 worth of fish foil on the floor. I mean, not that I don't think they should come to an accident, but if it's I called 911 by mistake and everybody leaves, then an hour later everybody comes back. It's
But
very,
you gotta
very hard.
remember, usually an employee, there's not many employees at the same business. And many.
No, and that's true too. So I mean, I just want to see what the whole
Yeah,
pack
I can
deals, and then
remember
we
a long
can-
time ago, one of our nurses
Yeah.
was on the fire department.
Yeah.
And he was not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Because you can't leave patients unattended,
Yeah,
you know.
that's right. Paramedics and stuff like that.
But,
Folks home.
but then I know other places have allowed their staff to go. It's like, yeah, I'd like to hear from the fire association.
And where they want the letter of support sent to, because I don't know if that was in there.
They usually get it sent and give it to the fire person that has asked for it, the
Yeah,
firefighter.
okay. No, that would be good. And then we can.
Okay, now, is there any correspondence or information items? No? My goodness. Would someone like to adjourn this meeting?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded, motion carried.
Angela,
Oh,
did you say
I
that
thought
in
I'd
this?
see the new hat on you.
You know what? It actually does clean my glasses way better.